Patriot Anglers Day. Alright.
I think we're a little fogged on the camera, but
Sorry.
you need my clips. There you go. Let me get a couple pictures. So, what I want you to do, pull him sideways and see if you can prop up his fin. Cool.
Hey, take a picture of me. First Patriot Angler with the Grayling.
That you are.
You get it?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey,
Sweet.
no skunker.
No skunker.
So that was at the top?
That was right under 7 feet.
So I need to raise up my lure.
Yeah.
So I'm out here with James Anderson, one of the co-founders of Patriot Anglers. And I'm Lewis Chapman, CEO and co-founder of Patriot Anglers. And I just wanted to take a minute out here to thank some of the folks that got us to where we are now that we're 3 years down the road, and we've been able to help hundreds of veterans and their family members through fishing. And Home Depot with our Homer bucket, and then Cabela's have been huge in helping us. And then we can never thank Project Sanctuary enough with all of their support and guidance in creating this nonprofit. We wouldn't be here without them. So in the fall of 2010, I went on a special fishing trip. I ended up going to Aurora Reservoir, and I ended up taking my father. And the reason this was so special is because this was the first time that I was able to take my father fishing. Before that, it had always been him taking me fishing. We'd used his boat, his truck, his equipment, and we would go out to ice fish or wherever. And so this trip was really special because I was able to take him in my truck, my boat, with my equipment for the first time. And while we were out there, it was a hard day of fishing, and then about midway through the day, a thunderstorm blew in, and it got really choppy out there, and we were on electric engines only. We got blown way off course, and we're fighting some serious chop, just trying to make it back to the dock, but we were still trolling some lines. And we had a big silver Z-ray back behind us, and sure enough, a large rainbow trout came and hooked into that Z-ray and started fighting us like the devil. We cut the engine, and I started fighting that fish, and my dad grabbed the net to help me haul it in, and that fish went left and right, dived straight down, even wrapped itself around the engine. And my dad was able to climb back there and unwrap the fish from the engine without losing it, and we were able to haul it in. While netting it, he almost fell overboard and had to throw himself backwards, landing on his butt in the boat just to keep from going out and landing the fish. At the time, that was my biggest rainbow trout. And for a little bit I thought about letting it go, and then I was like, no, I'm going to take this one home for dinner. So I kept it. After getting home and parting ways with my father, I thought about it, and I decided that this will be my first fish that I have taxidermied, and I need to save this fish. And I had a feeling that, you know, that would be very important to do. And it turns out my dad was fairly ill, and that was the last time we got to go fishing. So that was definitely a good call, and every time I look at that fish, I think of all the years that we spent outdoors. And the reason I want to talk about him is after coming back from Iraq, from the invasion in 2003, I was a pretty angry and bitter person. I went from job to job. I lost touch with a lot of friends, and had some marriage difficulties. And it was my dad seeing this that convinced me to go back to the outdoors with him, and we started ice fishing and taking the boat out again. And that's what really reined me in. And I realized how it was working for me and how much of a better person I was becoming, and a lot more peaceful. So I reached out to my battle buddies, the ones that I'd lost touch with from Iraq, and started dragging them out, like Jeremy and James, and they're just having the same effect on them. And after a fishing trip, and towards the end of 2012, on I think it was Labor Day weekend, with James Anderson, him and I got discussing these very issues and how much this had all helped us, and the concept and the idea of the Patriot Anglers was born. Since then, it's been 3 years, thousands of fish, and hundreds of participants, and we're going strong, and we're working harder to make a big difference in the lives of our veteran community here in Colorado.